Hey everybody, it's Jamie and Kaylee. I'm up doing a update after pregnancy loss vlog. I'm just gonna go over like everything that happened, like the timeline of everything, and talk about doctor's appointments, how I'm feeling, how my husband's feeling, birth control options, and also like our plans for future children if we have any plans for future children. I'm getting a lot of questions about that, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. But first I'm going to go through the timeline. So if you've already seen all my videos and know the timeline pretty well, I'm sorry, but not everybody watches every video. So I'm just going to go through it real fast. Okay, so February 11th I did my live pregnancy test, and I got my very faint positive line. And we were shocked. It was definitely a surprise. It was not planned, and you know, if you go back and see my reaction, I'll put a link to that video around here somewhere, and you'll see my reaction was not the greatest, but you know, over time we were getting excited. The 12th I got a darker line because I kept testing, and the 13th I noticed I got another faint line, but I thought it was just because I started drinking an extra amount of water because I'm breastfeeding and I was pregnant, so I wanted to drink a lot of water to make sure I didn't lose my milk supply, and also to nourish me, Kaylee, and the new baby. So I just thought it was because I drank and I ate, and that's what I thought it was. Then the 14th, on Valentine's Day, I took another test, and it was even fainter. It was like barely there, and that's when I kind of got an idea that something was wrong. And I did end up going to the ER late that night, and they really didn't do much for me. I wasn't bleeding or anything, so they just got my beta. They said it was low, but because I didn't know how far along it was because of breastfeeding, my cycles were all crazy. They said I could just be earlier than they expected, but I had to go see my doctor to get a second beta level testing. So yeah, no help, no comfort. Like at least it was another confirmation that I was pregnant. I mean, I'd already gotten confirmed on the 12th, but yeah. So, and then the 15th, the next morning, I took another pregnancy test, and it was completely negative. There was no line there. Took that first thing in the morning, and then later that morning around 11, I noticed some bleeding. Yeah, it was crushing. Although I kind of was expecting it. And I was kind of, in a way, like I was heartbroken, but in a way I was relieved, because I spent the 13th and the 14th all stressed out, worrying about what was going to happen, not knowing, and the stress was killing me. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I was sad to see that I was bleeding, but I was kind of relieved to know what was happening, and not question, like it was just kind of, I was glad to finally have an answer to what was going on. So I started bleeding on the 15th. It was really light, but it was red. It was bright red bleeding. It was not old blood, and it was like, at first it kind of reminded me of my bloody show when I went into labor with Kaylee. Like, it was mucus, but with like veins of red blood, and then it gradually turned into like bright red spotting, and then it, like on the 16th, I woke up in the morning gushing blood. I'm sorry if I'm going to get into bad, yucky details, but I'm just letting y'all know what happened. The 16th, I was bleeding heavy, and the cramps were awful. My back was hurting, the cramps, and it felt like contractions in a way. It was really weird, but it was like more, like I was cramping through them, but then there was waves of when it was hurting so bad, and I was losing clots, and it was just awful. It was worse than a period. Like, it was awful. And I was in bed all day that day. thankfully Kaylee lays in bed with me, so I was able to nurse her, and she just laid there and cuddled with me. She was so good. And Denver was home, so he was watching Braden. So I bled through the 16th. I bled the 16th through the 19th, pretty heavy. And then the 19th, I quickly noticed that I was slowing down. Like, it went from extremely heavy to like barely bleeding, like in a day. And today is the 20th, and I'm not bleeding anymore. No more cramps, nothing. I have there's just nothing. I went to the doctor on Monday. Today's Wednesday, so yeah, on Monday, and I got my beta levels checked. Did a HCG test, and it came back negative, so there's no pregnancy hormone left. But it's still weird. I'm still getting pregnancy symptoms. Like, I'm still nauseous in the morning, and like nausea. I've been feeling really nauseous the past couple days, and so tired. Like, I usually am up pretty late, like just like watching TV or on the computer or whatever. And I'll actually go to bed with the computer in bed with me, and like I'm usually up doing stuff. But the past couple nights, I lay down with the computer and I just pass out. Like, I wake up with the lights still on and my computer still on, and like having nothing, had done nothing that I had planned to do. So yeah, I've been really tired and nauseous. And I did talk to my doctor. Oh yeah, and they did an ultrasound, and just to make sure that I wasn't in need of a DNC or anything, because I had no idea how far along I was, and the ER didn't do a ultrasound, and I'm completely clear, which is really good. So I was really nervous about that. And what else can I talk about the doctor's appointment? We talked birth control options, and we didn't do my blood test until after, like, I had to go to another place from my doctors to get the blood test. So she said we discussed options, and we decided on the Norplant, or the Implanon, and it's like the neck off, like the name's Nexplanon. I wish I had the pamphlet. I'll talk about that when I actually get it in. But we both got to agree that that was probably the best option for me, since it's basically the same thing as a mini pill, but in like the implant version. Instead of being that, she said the mini pill was like 92% effective, where their Nexplanon is 99% effective and uses like the same stuff. So if I did okay with the mini pill, I would be okay with this. So that's the one we agreed on. And we made an appointment for next Wednesday, so that's when I'm going to go get in. But she needed to see a negative HCG test first, so that's why we put it off for next week. Then I went to go get my blood test done, and it came back negative that day. So I just have to wait. How I'm feeling? I'm doing okay. It's very sad, and like it's kind of hard because people keep commenting on the pregnancy, the surprise video, and like the pregnancy vlog, and congratulating me, and I'm kind of just like don't have the heart to tell them, you know, thank you, but I lost it. I just don't reply to those anymore. I don't want to seem rude either, but it's just too hard to like say thank you and all that quite yet. I'm trying to do this without crying too. I'm gonna get through this video without crying, I promise. I had a couple days where I just did not want to get out of bed. I was emotionally and physically tired and in pain. And thankfully my husband was so good about it. He took it a lot easier than I did, just because, you know, he wasn't the one pregnant. And like I said, this was a big surprise. So it's not a baby we were wanting, or not wanting. Like, we weren't planning on it, and it was not something we were expecting. And it was easy for him. Yes, ma'am. It was easy for him to kind of not get too upset about it, and he didn't really understand. It's hard for him to understand not being upset, me being so upset about it, but he just doesn't. He understands it's a hormonal thing, and it's the loss of a baby. My baby's in my world, so this is like, it was crushing for me. I mean, he was sad. He was more sad for me going through this than the actual loss of the baby. Hello. He was more sad for me than what was actually happening. But yeah, right now, and the fact that I'm still having like pregnancy symptoms is really upsetting me too. I was like, it's easy to be nauseous and tired. Sorry, my son, he's supposed to be going out for a nap. It's easy to be nauseous and tired when you're expecting a baby. Like, you know, you're doing this for a good reason. There's a reason behind it. There's going to be a good outcome in the end for this. And that's just not true for right now. I'm going through this for no good reason. And it's frustrating. Plans for future children. Like I said, we're getting the Nexplanon, so that's good for 3 years. We do eventually want one more, at least one more. I'd like 2 more. My husband only wanted 2 babies to begin with, so we agreed on 3 eventually. I think we want to give it like a year or 2. We'd like Braden to get in school, and maybe Kaylee in like preschool. So yeah, that's the plan for right now. We do want one more. We just want to clear the timing. We might be moving to California this summer, so I don't want to be moving while pregnant, or you know, yeah, this just won't be fun. A 4-day car ride with 3 babies, or 2 babies and me being pregnant is just what isn't ideal. And our truck is paid off this coming November. So then we'll get a new car that will fit 3 car seats, but right now we just can't afford to change it right now. And so it's just not the ideal situation right now for 3 babies. So when everything's, probably next year we might reevaluate, but right now that's where we are. We'd like to wait till like Kaylee is maybe 2. She's gonna be 1 in like 3 months. Oh my God. So we'll see. That's the plan for right now, and yeah, I'm doing okay. I really am. I'm still very sad, and you know, I keep finding like little things that make me think of it, and it's really heartbreaking. Like I took like 1 million pregnancy tests, and I keep finding them. And finally, I just threw them all away, and it was so surreal. Like, it's so surreal. Like, it's kind of sad. I feel like this one doesn't have a lot of closure, just because I had the pregnancy test. I'm pregnant one day, and then I'm not the next day. It's just, and it's not like where I get to see there's no heartbeat on the ultrasound. It just disappeared. It just was over. I think that's what's getting me the most. And I had a week to get excited about it. But every day I'm getting better. Every day I'm getting happier, and life is getting back to normal, finally. Husband's back at work today, and yay, babe. And I just need to keep going on for the 2 babies I do have, and God has a plan for everything, and I think that, you know, I'm very blessed, and I'm grateful for what I do have. So I hope you all are doing well, and if you have any questions for me, do not hesitate to ask. I will be doing another update. I have to do Kaylee's 9-month update in a few days, like a week. Oh, nice, Kaylee. Nice. So, yeah. My mom and my sister are coming into town this weekend, so I'm really excited to see them. And nothing else really to talk about. Hope y'all are well. Bye, guys.